welcome to the show After Worlds Collide. Now, as you know, Worlds Collide wasn't a bad show. It was okay. I didn't agree with most of the booking there. I really did feel like that's the previous booking that was possibly done before Triple H has taken over. It was already set up, and Bruce might have been involved in most of it. A few of them probably Triple H did, but Bruce might have been the one who's mostly booking it. I'm going to tell you this. As a show, going after this pay-per-view, and about to end in going into the 1 year anniversary of 2.0, this show really didn't mean much. Yes, they gave us the new stuff. Yes, they gave us new people. Yes, we got like a best of 3 coming in, and I'll explain that. But honestly, I kind of wish World Collide had happened next week, and then we would get the 1 year anniversary. I'll give my explanation now. Now, we got the opening with Tyler Bates, sorry. I gotta say this, I like him. I like him more than Braun Breaker. Honestly, I've barely seen him at all. I've maybe seen once, maybe twice, NXT UK before it was finally shut down. I think maybe twice. And on one of those shows, I know I saw him. Thought he was something, but I didn't know what. The personality this guy has is very apparent. He's got a lot of personality, and I like him. Not saying I don't like Braun Breaker. He's not bad. But Tyler just feels more of something. Maybe due to the fact that Braun has only been in the business for about, a year or so? And Tyler has been in it for 10 years because he started when he was 15, and he's 25 now. Then we get Gallus coming out, basically saying that you're a disgrace because you're lost, you're nothing. They attack him, and then Braun comes out, and they get the match at the end of the show, which I'll talk about. But as talking points, it wasn't bad for Tyler. I was fine with it. But I am saying that this still kind of feels formulaic. Now, Toxic Attraction versus Nikki Ash and Doudrop. I made the mistake, and I have to say it. I thought they had the WWE titles. Due to the fact I didn't see what happened on SmackDown, for me personally, I just didn't realize it. And also, I was so freaking tired, I wasn't thinking. To be honest, I'm still kind of tired. When there's a lot in your mind, you don't sleep much. But if you got a lot in your mind and you have insomnia, you do not sleep at all, or you feel extremely exhausted no matter what. That's what you get. But Toxic Attraction versus Doudrop, fine. And Nikki Ash, fine. All Europeans, fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I kind of wish that Nikki Ash and Doudrop had gotten the titles because they're well known in Europe, and they're going to be going to Europe soon. And it would have been better to have Europeans hold it than Americans, to be honest. I'm just saying that as something to carry over. I know that sounds very stereotypical, but you want to try and make the fans in Europe feel like, hey, there's something of us. Not just because NXT is now coming to Europe and they're reforming it from UK to everywhere, and it's got to be Americans. I'm just saying. Of course, Doudrop and Nikki Ash win, but what does this really mean with Doudrop and Nikki Ash? Are they going from SmackDown, I believe down to SmackDown, and they're going back and forth? Or are they on NXT 2.0 from now on? I don't know. You got some below. Now, Roxanne versus Meiko Sakamura. I got to say this right now. This is the only thing I'm thinking about. Meiko Sakamura versus Asuka. On a pay-per-view. I don't care which regular roster pay-per-view. Put Sakamura on the main roster and stick her up against a Asuka. I don't know if they face one another. They probably have. But I want it so bad. I've never wanted something that probably will have almost no build and no interest other than its two Japanese Shoujo wrestlers. But I have a feeling with these two there, one with at least Asuka's got these 15 to 18 years, I think 15 to 16 years of experience easily. And Sakamura's 27. I think something could be done with them. I don't want them in a tag. I just want them to go up against each other. Unless it's going to be Sakamura against Io Shirai. I'm not saying Sky. Sky's stupid. That's just me. In the end, I'm not surprised Sakamura won. Now, she's going to have a match next week on the 1 year anniversary. I don't remember who it is. And when it came down to it, several things. And I'm talking about the match and afterward. When it comes to the match, it was good. Roxanne did well. She was no match for her. A little botchy with her, but it was okay. Then we had Jade coming out, hitting her in the back with a kendo stick due to the fact that Sakamura was not going to wrestle her. She was only going to wrestle basically Roxanne, and Jade couldn't stand it. Now you're going to have Jade versus Roxanne again, or you're going to have Jade versus a Sakamura. I'm not saying Sakamura. Here's the problem. I just don't see the reason why they continue to feud with Jade and Roxanne. They should separate them now. I think it's over. It's done. That's what I feel. That's just me, you guys, tell me below. I just feel like it should end now with a stipulation. They're going to do a 1 year anniversary. I'm sure of it. Let there be a stip that's going to end them. Maybe Jade will do something else, and maybe you put Roxanne on SmackDown, even though she might not be 100% there, but she did work in Ring of Honor. She did work there as Roxy, so maybe she's ready for the main roster, and they just want to do a blow-off. I'm hoping for that. That's just me. Ricochet versus Trick Williams, the gopher, the butler, the talk man of Carmelo Hayes. I've said it. I have not seen him wrestle. So, I didn't know what I was going to expect. But here's the thing. I didn't get to see him wrestle. I had to go to the bathroom. And I expected, well, this is going to take a couple of minutes. At least 5 or 6 or maybe minutes. I went to the bathroom. When I came back, it was all over. And Carmelo Hayes is angry that his boy got his ass, basically got folded. I didn't even get a chance to see if Trick Williams really could wrestle. I'm going to have to do and check a replay of him for whatever amount that he was allowed to get, because knowing Ricochet, he just whooped his ass. He just flew around and just wiped him out like Superman going through a concrete wall. Woof, end. So what does this mean? What does it mean for Ricochet? I don't know. But Carmelo Hayes on the 1 year anniversary is going to get a mystery opponent that you can vote on. Question's going to be, who are they going to present? Because the WWE is going to present who they believe would be best, and then they're going to let you vote on it. I don't know who's going to be, but honestly, Ricochet will be in the running of that. That's obvious. Maybe it'll be either Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. I'm not saying this will happen, but maybe they'll have Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. They'll have Ricochet, obviously. Maybe Mustafa. I'm not calling Mustafa. Fuck that. He's Mustafa Ali. He sounds better as Mustafa. Not Mustafa. Mustafa might also be in running. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But you guys tell me below what you think. My guess is it'll be Ricochet. But if it's going to be a dark horse, it might be Mustafa Ali. You guys tell me below. Best of 3. Axum versus Frazier. Now, they look like they're brand new. I've never seen them. Maybe you guys have seen them. I have not. So they're brand new to me, and it's supposed to be a best of 3. It's only just supposed to be about the spirit of competition. Here's where there's a problem. Chemistry-wise, they got great chemistry. How they were able to choreograph their work together, how they were able to do the spots together, was done quite well. They were basically beat to each other, so it looked natural. It did. That's very good, because a lot of high flyers don't have chemistry that they can go from one move to another, make it look natural, to another to make it move natural, to another. That's how it was. But here's the problem. I do agree with one thing that Jim Cornette said, because I did hear what he talked about when it came to the Rey Mysterio documentary. He's right in one respect, that a lot of high fly wrestlers lucha libre style high fly wrestlers do not understand how to take their time when they do their spots. Nothing wrong going from spot to spot to spot. But Ray took time. Sometimes he would stop. Like Pac. Pac didn't always just go from spot to spot to spot to spot. He would do spot to spot to spot. Hold for a minute. Let people soak it in. Let people see that he and his partner is doing their business. And then go from there. We did not get that from Annex and Frazier. All we got was spot to spot to spot. And then a botch. When Frazier tried to do a suicide dive outside, caught his legs, and he could have easily, basically, bent himself in half, trying to go from spot to spot to spot, then do a running spot. That was stupid. And understand, I'm not against Lucha Libre. I'm just saying you got to make it look right and make the emotion mean something. And as much as the crowd was cheering for it and calling NXT, they could have been louder. Because you can hear that most of the fans were yelling, screaming, and cheering. Not all of them. And if anybody says you're wrong, not wrong. Because with the mics inside that place, you can hear the sound from one side of the arena to the other. And one side was cheering, the other one was partially cheering. It wasn't the sound was bad. It was because they were not fully invested, because they were just going from one spot to another, and not giving time for them to enjoy it. Annex 1. But what does this mean for the best of 3? Will one of them turn heel at the end of it? I don't know. If I had to take a guess, maybe Frazier. Let's move on. I'm going to give it to like this. Damien Kep. I think his name is Damien Kep. I've never really noticed him because I don't keep up with Olympic wrestling. But when he came into the company, we wondered what he was going to do, and he went into Diamond Mine. Fine. At least he was training while he was getting exposure. Now they decide to just let him be off on his own. And Diamond Mine is mad, and he explained the reason why he did it, which does make sense. He came in, he expected to be treated better than this. Yeah, he was still new, but he expected that he would get a shot to work, and the only thing he did was act like a cheerleader. That pissed him off. He decided to mess people over. He decided to beat up Strom in the hopes that when it came to the others, they would finally embrace him, let him work with them, and they still wouldn't do it. So he basically destroyed Diamond Mine. Understandable. But the question is going to be, has he trained enough to really make it mean something? Being able to wrestle doesn't mean a damn thing if you don't have a character, charisma. He does seem to talk well, so I'm glad to see the mic skills are there. But does he have the charisma, and does he have the ability to tell a story in that damn ring? That's my question. Everyone else has seen him. I have not, so it's going to be a question what's going to happen. Now, Tony D'Angelo is trying so hard to get Cameron Grimes. Cameron shows up. And that was after Pretty Deadly were angry that people just didn't believe that they won their match fairly. But he pretty much gave him a second offer. He said, you refuse this one, you're in trouble. And he says, I don't need you. Basically, he's saying, bring to trouble, and he got his ass whipped. Now he's supposed to have a tag match, and he's going to have a mystery partner to deal with D'Angelo and his partner. So, I don't know where this is going. What? Tony D'Angelo, having a new family, it's going to be interesting, yes. But at this point, I think they're rushing it a little too much. He shouldn't be running to get a new family so soon. He should be reestablishing himself as the Dom, as the best wrestler there, as the most important wrestler there. I just feel like this is a rush. I don't believe this is good booking. That's just me. Let's see, what else do we have here? Apollo Crews. After what happened with Walter, I forgot his name. Where his eye. I forgot what his name is, but for some reason I'm blanking on the guy's name. I'll remember his name later, I bet you. But he's saying he now sees, he was clearly able to see, but after the match, he wasn't. He's angry. And now he can't see correctly, but he knows where he needs to point himself to be able to get revenge. Pretty much, it's not like that. That's not what he said, but that's what I'm saying. and one of his eyes is now red. Possibly some dye or contact to make him look like his eye is damaged because of Grayson Waller. There you go. I believe that's his name. And I think that's a good, interesting possibility for him. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but maybe this might work. Now, we did not see a Toxic Attraction Mandy Rose on TV. On Instagram, she had both titles. She was not there. When it came to... I feel like they needed some extra people on this show, and they didn't have it. But that's just me. In the end, we get the final match of the night, which was basically Gallus versus Brock and the Bates. The big boy. The big, strong boy. I'm going to tell you this. Tyler Bates, he's got character. I like his character. Is he a great wrestler? He's a good one. The question is going to be, what would they do with him? This is the big question. Is he going to stay on NXT, or is he going to go to NXT Europe? Since there's not going to be an NXT European champion, they're not going to do that. NXT, it only has one champion. Unless they're going to do a European Championship, which they could, maybe Tyler Bates will go for that one. But if they don't, he is now NXT permanently now. And then eventually he'll go for the main roster. Question's going to be how they're going to book him. The match was fine. In the end, we got not only Braun Breaker working together with Bates, but you could see that Gallus didn't work that well. But in the end, the faces won, at least until, and I skipped this one on purpose, when it came to West versus McLean. What's his name, McLean? I'm trying to pronounce his name properly. Let me get you like this. Seeing that he went after Tyler, it makes some sense because they got history. But seeing Wes Lee have to job that way, Desmond Xavier, when he was in Impact, was a damn good wrestler. And he did have personality. Here, without his partner, he feels empty. Now, this is only the first time I've seen him since, you know, what happened to his partner because of, unfortunately, Kimberly being the woman that she is. And I know this better than most because my ex-wife was bipolar with possible schizophrenia, and she probably still is. But he's not there because of the allegations and the problems. He's not there at this moment. And if he is, he's not being allowed on TV. So Wes just feels empty, alone. Unless they're going to really do something with him, he's going to be like enhancement talent. And I don't like that. I hope they do something with him. This was an okay show. But honestly, it needed more. And this is what I said in the very opening of this video. Next week is the 1-year anniversary of 2.0. I'm not happy about 2.0. I don't really care about it being a good year or a bad year. They set it up as a year. Why couldn't they done Worlds Collide this Sunday coming or Saturday? Instead of doing Worlds Collide this Sunday, they should have done it next Sunday, so then they would have the 1-year anniversary to fall on, so they would have something very special after Worlds Collide, because this is supposed to mean something. And you got this one show that's in between the pay-per-view and the 1-year anniversary that feels kind of eh. To me personally, the show was okay, but it really was lacking. That's just me. I'm not saying the matches were bad. I want you to understand the matches were not bad. They were not 100% trash. It just feels like, yes, they talked about it, but it just felt like it was missing something. Oh, almost forgot. Stu Barrett, that's my boy. He's my man. He's my boy. You want to know why? The Frazier and Annex match. He said a reference of something that I saw as a kid. So that means he's seen it himself. And that was when they were talking about Annex being a superhero. He said, look, this guy isn't Superman. He's not Banana Man. If you don't know if you know who Banana Man is, boy, you and I are friends. Because as a kid, I've never hid that I watched a lot of cartoons. I've seen Japanese cartoons, I've seen European cartoons, I have seen American and Canadian cartoons. Luckily, in New York, I was incredibly lucky that regular public access TV and cable showed stuff you would not normally see in most of the country. Not all of the country covered this. You used to watch sci-fi from Britain. Not all outlets in the United States covered it. Not all parts of the country saw Doctor Who, Blake 7, Space 1999, UFO, The Prisoner, and in this case, Danger Mouse, which is a cartoon with a mouse and a hamster that are spies. Yes, yes. And a guy, whenever he eats a banana, he turns into a superhero called
Banana Man, the greatest hero in the world.
The music with Banana Man was stupid and it made you laugh and you love it. If you've never seen Banana Man, look on YouTube, look up the BBC Banana Man, or also Danger Mouse. Came out in the 80s. I'm done. Peace.